reach enlightenment treatment. Not so impossible can, but a bit realistic. Now, not certain things that is can be achievable. Good to aim high, though. Good to aim high.
Good to know. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, no problem. Hi, Jason. Okay, have more people streaming in. Okay, so it's 8:30. Maybe I let Terence do the intro.
Thank you, Ate. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to MSBS Weekly Guided Meditation by Phra Goh. Today is the 27th of July 2021. We are very grateful to have with us Bhante Adhibalo, popularly known as Phra Goh. Bhante was born on July 14, 1985, and had his bhikkhu ordination to the Theravada tradition of Thai Dhamma sect at Patti Falls Monastery, Johor in 2008. Bhante is currently the religious advisor to Buddhist Youth Network Singapore and has been conducting MSBS weekly Tuesday guided meditation since last year, July. Bhante will be sharing a new topic this week on how to overcome greed, hatred, and delusion. Bhante will be leading the homage to Buddha and taking up 5 precepts for Buddhists. Now let us compose our mind for our path together and welcome Bhante. Over to you, Bhante.
All right, thank you, Terence, for the intro. So we shall kick off with opening chant and the homage. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. 3 refuges. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. And the 5 precepts. Panatipata viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccācara viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Suramiraya majjapamadatthana viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, good evening, everyone. And tonight we are starting with a new topic. We've ended the last one on this on the 5 qualities. So very long 5 qualities, but now we're starting a new one, also quite repetitive. So this time around is how to overcome greed, hatred, and delusion. Greed, hatred, and delusion. So in some cultures, from the Tibetan tradition, they symbolize it in this picture, in some drawings, and they use animals to represent these three kinds of poisons. First is greed. So I think the pig, right, is representing this greed. Hatred is the snake, and this delusion or ignorance can be represented by this rooster, right? So this a kind of stereotyping. I'm not saying the animals are like that, but that's how humans observe the animals. And pigs may be greedy, or maybe the snake looks like very dangerous, something like anger, and rooster maybe looks like very proud, very vain. So give the rooster delusion. So just a representation. And this tree also happened to be the three kinds of extremes, three kinds of desire. Recently, we just had this Asala Puja on the 24th for the Thai tradition, and for the Sri Lankans and the Burmese traditions, they have it on the 23rd of July, one day before the Thais. And this Asala Puja sort of commemorates the day when the Buddha first gave his Dhamma teaching, official Dhamma teaching, or the successful Dhamma teaching, where he spin the Dhamma wheel. Prior to that, he also gave some teachings here and there, had some conversations, but not so successful. So some of the more common kind of conversations that I recall was this Brahmin Dona. There's this particular religious person called Brahmin Dona. He's an phrenologist. And he looks at people's bodily signs and to see, to sort of like predict the future. And what happened was he looked at the Buddha's footprint. And he was amazed. This footprint has many special features. Doesn't look like human. So he quickly approached to the Buddha. The Buddha was just enlightened, haven't really officially started his teaching career. And he asked the Buddha, are you a Deva, heavenly being? And Buddha said, no. Are you a yaka, something like a demon? No. Are you a human? No. Are you a ghost? No. I asked a whole list of questions from different beings, different races, different realms. And the Buddha said, no. So who are you? So then the Buddha answered, he's awake. That means he's Buddha is awake. So he used a verb instead of a noun. So he mentioned that he is free from the conditions, that is not to be reborn to all these beings, all these realms. And this Brahmin Dona can't accept it, cannot accept the answer. So he shook his head. Okay, good luck to you. Then let's hope so. Then he left. Right. So sometimes teaching require practice. Teaching or giving service require practice. So I'm pretty grateful for Terence and MSBS for providing this platform for me to at least do some practice. It's a circular skill and nothing to do with spiritual skill, but of course, we know there are many very good corporate kind of speakers, the Rotary Club, the kind of speakers, many professional speakers. It's a circular skill. So, and of course, there are many monks in the Buddha's time who are enlightened but cannot teach, cannot speak. So these are things we should balance. And so why are we covering these three poisons, right? We're going to start off with this Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta at the beginning of the sermon. The Buddha actually approached again his 5 companions. These are the 5 companions that deserted the Buddha when he was still struggling and trying to seek enlightenment. So they abandoned the Buddha, and the Buddha, when he was approaching these 5 companions, discussed among themselves. Please do not entertain the Buddha, do not greet him, do not stand up for him, do not provide him a seat. and just ignore him. He's a deserter. No, he left the practice. So they just like pretend like nothing happened. But as the Buddha got closer, he walked closer and closer, and they find he looks very different. No, he feels very different. And suddenly they just stand up, greet him, and prepare a seat for him, and that's how he started giving the sermon and asked these 5 companions, that to practice this way or to achieve this enlightenment is to avoid a few kinds of extremes. He mentioned 3 kinds: kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha, 3 kinds of clinging. Or rather, avoid 2 extremes first. First is sensual desire. That means like when he was a princely life, enjoying the music, dancing, all this luxury and sort of stuff to the extreme. So this kind of environment not conducive for spiritual practice. So this is the one extreme one should avoid. The other extreme is self-torture, self-affliction. Right. So the what he's been doing for the 6 years, torturing himself, about to die, he can't reach the path. So he also said that is not too conducive also for this practice. So he mentioned striving this middle way, right? And these 3 kinds of desire is mentioned in the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths, the cause of suffering. Then we move on to the next slide. He mentioned the suffering. This one we talked about it many times. Most of the sessions we will talk about it. It's the standard universal Buddhist teaching, regardless of tradition. We talk about this Four Noble Truth. And the second Noble Truth will be the cause of suffering. Then he elaborated 3 kinds of craving: kama tanha, bhava tanha, vibhava tanha. So kama tanha means craving for sensual pleasure, similar to the first extreme which he mentioned, clinging to nice things. So in daily life, we know, we enjoy certain maybe pleasures, certain entertainment. We look forward to that. So that is craving for sensual pleasure. But when we meditate, this sensual pleasure, they manifest in our thoughts. So if let's say we sit there and do nothing, even we can do it as an experiment. What kind of thoughts are you thinking now? What are your mind chasing? Or what is your mind chasing? What do you seek? Your mind. So this habitual seeking is what you actually crave for. Right? So there are generally 3 kinds of craving, like the pleasant kind of experiences, which is this kama tanha, sensual pleasure, nice things, maybe you fantasize, you look forward to, you want to enjoy, experience, so you sort of daydream. So in meditation, we have this. So that's why in meditation, we always mention, do not leave the mind idle. Once you leave the mind idle, you naturally cling on to something. That's the natural programming of the mind. That is untrained or rather our default programming of samsaric beings in samsara. You want to stay in samsara, that's the natural way of things. You need to just follow the flow and you cling on to something. So this is clinging to sensual pleasure. Nice things, nice experience, you want to cling. And the next thing, when we meditate, we have this thing called vibhava tanha, which is aversion, or the other extreme called violence. So anything that is hatred or aversion causing pain, then that is vibhava tanha, craving for this aversion. Even aversion is a craving. Anything we don't like, we want to push away. Sometimes anger. Some people get angry the whole day. Angry is a bad and negative emotion. Some people, they can't let go because it's a craving. Inside, they want to hold on to this anger, sort of give them something to fill up the void in their heart. So it's something, gives them purpose. Some people maybe can get vengeful the whole day or get angry the whole day. So this is a kind of craving also. It is kind of addiction, right? Emotional kind of addiction. So this is the second kind, Vibhava Tanha, and the last one, this Bhava Tanha, craving for eternalism. Craving for eternalism. So Bhava, or rather becoming, has three categories. Desire kind of becoming, form and formless becoming. So the form and formless becoming is talking about the states of concentration, form concentrations and formless concentration, basically all the jhanas. So if a person, let's say, enter into states of calm, states of peace, or experience nice emotion from concentration, it can be addictive. And normally meditators, common issues would be a nice feeling. I want to stay there forever. Very nice, very cooling, very peaceful, and they are unable to let go. Or how I wish to be in this state forever. So it is a kind of craving. Right? So in meditation and in our instruction, I will always mention, treat all emotions in your meditation as passing scenery. Passing scenery, because once you cling on to that emotion, then it's like hentakaki, you stop there. It's not like traveling in a highway. You are like a speeding car, you're traveling in a highway, and there are many kind of sceneries, right? You don't have to stop at every scenery to take a look. Because once you stop, then you cause a jam in the highway, or you might have an accident. So what will happen is, once a person stops to sort of cling onto these nice emotion, nice peaceful emotions, the next thing they experience is all the hindrances will come in, because they forget to apply the cause. For example, we talk about cause and effect. You want to plant, you want to grow a fruit, right? Or you want to grow a tree, you want to get a fruit. First, you must plant the seed. You must apply the conditions, have the water, fertilizer, the rain, and whatever. Then you grow into the plant, have the fruit, right? So you must know the cause and effect. You must apply the cause, then you can have the fruit, the effect. So this peace or calm is actually the result of the cause, which is how you apply your meditation, how you keep on repeating your mantra, or watching your meditation object. So that is planting the cause. But once you start holding on to the nice emotion, nice peaceful emotion, a lot of people forget to put in the cause. They just want to reap the fruits, right? So the mind very fast one. Once you reap the fruit, all bhutan, all gone already, all the fruits gone, then harvest finished. And you forget to plant the new seed again, and the peace gone. So some people take a longer time, some people very fast. So the whole idea is keep on going back to the foundation. Whatever you experience, nice, peaceful thing experience, treat it as passerby, treat it as passing scenery, passing emotion. Yeah, so you just continue putting a right thought. Yeah, it can be loving kindness, impermanence, or whatever kind of meditation you're doing. So you keep on repeating and repeating, and do not let go of the cause. Okay, then there is this thing also called this desire becoming. Even if a person do not enter states of concentration, there is this craving, this bhava tanha, craving for eternalism in the desire sphere. If a person is enjoying their sensual life, they want this lifestyle forever. So that is a kind of desire becoming, or another term to put it, delusion. Some people want to live forever. Some people wish to be healthy forever, do not want to get sick. So all these are a kind of delusion. Yeah, one of craving, want to have certain form of eternalism. So it manifests in various forms. So these are the three kinds of poisons, or three kinds of craving, which is a cause of suffering. So the aggregates themselves, our attention itself, when we pay attention to any form, or we feel any sensation in any of the six senses, by itself, no suffering. The screen that you're staring, no suffering. But you stare for a long time, longer periods of time, then there might be suffering. Yeah, you look at the screen, then your mind starts to think, you like the picture, don't like the picture, like the brightness, don't like the brightness, then you have different feelings, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feelings. Then if the mind doesn't reflect properly, then it will develop clinging and suffering. So you have two options when you have sense contact, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. Either you have right thought or wrong thought, skillful thought or unskillful thought. If you have unskillful thought, then that is our natural programming, the ways of samsara, carry on with desire. Yeah, nice feeling, we have greed. Unpleasant feeling, you develop aversion, hatred, you want to reject it, you want to push it away, you want to destroy it. And if it's neutral feeling, then it's a delusion. The mind will think, okay, it's like that, well, normal, I just want to be like that forever. So three kinds of feelings, three kinds of delusion. That will be the natural course of things, but we are a bit of interventionists. So when we want to apply this right thought or the Eightfold Path to break the cycle, right, we just do the opposite. Greed, hatred, delusion, we just do the opposite. So you want to have right thought, you have nice, pleasant feeling, then we contemplate on non-greed. So like for here, we are using impermanence, which is a bit universal, can apply for all three actually, impermanence. But in meditation, we can think of thoughts of generosity, thoughts of these impurities of the body. So that would be one way to overcome greed. And how about unpleasant feeling? Unpleasant feeling, you apply loving kindness. So normally we start off with loving kindness. Yeah, this is a safe, universal bet. Good way to start off. Soften the mind first. It's like doing stretching before an exercise. But sometimes when we meditate, we do not know exactly what is our current, we call it strongest defilement. Different people have different defilement. So the universal protocol that we are doing most of the time is apply loving kindness first. Soften the mind. Yeah? Wish all beings well and happy, or wish your meditation object well and happy to sort of do some warm up. So that would be a good way to soften the mind, then followed by we do other kinds of heavy work. And the last one, the other kind of craving is this delusion, and we are applying thoughts of impermanence that also solves this delusion. And what we introduce in our first phase of meditation will be kind of reflection on non-self. Now then we ask, are the hairs truly you? Are the hairs truly self? Are the nails truly self? Are the teeth truly self? And is the skin truly self? So this is to a bit of reflection, to ask what is truly yours to control. If anything that you have total control means it is you, or if it brings happiness, then that is the true self, or that is you. But if it changes against your will, you get upset over it, you find stressful, then that isn't the true self. So again, different schools have different interpretation. What is atta? What is anatta? What is non-self or not self? Have a different take. We might go through that in the later part of the series. But then again, just a brief kind of a summary of this Four Noble Truth again. And once we apply this right thought, then we're actually applying the Eightfold Path, which is the fourth Noble Truth, path leading to the cessation of suffering. So if you apply unskillful thoughts, let our mind just be idle, or let the way things are, high chances it will lead to clinging and suffering. But if we put in effort to intervene, right? Then it will lead to this cessation, reducing of this greed, and the mind will get calmer and get more peaceful. So there are different levels of this cessation, but the definition of cessation is to overcome this, number two, overcome this craving. So that's the definition of cessation. Yeah, so to totally overcome, that would be an enlightened being. Yeah, so everybody have different levels of trying to overcome this craving. All right, so I won't want to mention too much on the Eightfold Path, but in meditation, I always mention keep repeating. So that is actually a right effort, right effort. Once we stop only the mind idle, and the mind will cling on to all the unskillful thoughts. But once we have the right effort to overcome the unskillful thoughts and to develop and to perfect skillful qualities, skillful states of mind, things like loving kindness, things like wisdom, when we think of impermanence. So all these are skillful qualities. So it requires conditioning, requires training. Some people say, oh, Nibbana means unconditioned. So you don't have to do anything, which is closer to the final stage. Yeah? But initially, need to put in lots and lots of effort. So again, to reiterate the progression, all traditions, I'm going to use this Zen tradition again, Zen example of this artist, of this Zen poet, Zen poet. So he wrote a few verses. So he mentioned, see mountains as mountains, kan shan shi shan. Second line he wrote, see mountains as not mountains, kan shan bu shi shan. And the third line he wrote, kan shan shi shan. See mountains again as mountains. So initially, anybody read is like, doesn't make sense. What is he writing? What is he talking about? But at least my interpretation would be, it's a progression of our spiritual practice. An untrained person see mountains as mountains. You see a picture of a mountain, you see a scenery, see this picture over here, or whatever experience, you see things, oh, mountain, wow, so nice, so beautiful, so normal way of seeing things. You give the normal, habitual kind of values to the label, to the things. So this is seeing mountains as mountains. So this is the first step. Everybody, untrained person, default programming, that would be the way. But once you start learning, once you start training, once you start learning Buddhism, you have to train to see mountains as not mountains. Yeah, like for example, we see our body as a 32 parts of the body, see the body as 4 elements, see the mountain as 4 elements. Yeah, see the mountain as not mountain. So you try to perceive things differently. See the mountains as impermanence, see the mountain as illusion, whatever it is. So you give a different kind of perception to whatever you contact. So this is the second phase of the training. And after you keep training and training and training for some time, and eventually, then you see mountains again as mountains. So that will be the final product. You don't have to put in so much effort because the mind is free already. Yeah, so there are many examples in scripture, like sailing this raft to the other shore. So if an enlightened person already reached the other shore, which is Nibbana, then the Buddha says, you can discard the raft. You don't need the boat anymore. You can discard the raft. And the raft that brings you across the sea or the shore, the ocean, to reach this safe haven. Because you're already there. You don't need the boat anymore. Right? So yeah, so this ends the short, very short kind of discussion or sharing on these 3 poisons. There's more to go actually, but just a brief overview. We've covered most of the things in all the previous series. This is just like a recap. Okay, any questions? Anyone on the Zoom chat, on the floor, or on the Facebook comments? all seen the truth. Okay, if everyone is sort of free from doubt at this point of time, you can take your time to think of questions or think of future topics to discuss. Yeah, and we can look forward for the guided meditation later. We have a 5-minute break, so now it's 9 o'clock. See you back at 9:05. All right, is everyone back? Hi, Anjeev. So during your 5-minute break, does everyone have any questions or comments before we start the session? Okay, if not, then we shall proceed. So we're starting off with adjusting the body. Make sure you find comfortable sitting position. And your back is upright. And the rest of the body relaxed. And because this is a formal class, so you have to sit in front of this screen. But I'm trying to always emphasize to break this stereotype that meditation is restricted to sitting. Actually, meditation is not restricted to sitting. Meditation can be done in all our activities, standing, sitting, walking, lying down, doing all kinds of other work. It's about generating right thought, spinning the Dhamma wheel, the Eightfold Path throughout the day. Okay, so we're starting off with this contemplation of detachment of the body. And we're going to visualize firstly our hairs. And we're going to wish all the hairs well and happy from head to toe. So again, to re-emphasize why we are doing this, if let's say an untrained mind, our habitual way of thinking, when we think of an object, think of our hairs, then if we have pleasant experience of our hairs, or the hair looks beautiful, then we have craving, greed. And if we have aversion to our hair, things like our hair looks messy, I don't like my hairstyle, unpleasant sensations, then you have anger, aversion to the hair. So we're avoiding these extremes, we're practicing the middle way, so applying the right thought, wishing all the hairs well and happy. So from head to toe, lots of hairs. So whenever you think of a new patch of hair, you need to keep repeating, wish all these hairs well and happy. If you just only think once, may all these hairs be well and happy, and then you stop and idle, high chances all kinds of other stray thoughts will come in. So we are always intervening, reprogramming the mind to create this new habit, actually, a new positive habit. Keep reinforcing thoughts of loving kindness all the time, every second. Every time we think of a new patch of hair, wish it well and happy. And then we are now introducing the other thought of non-greed. So we're going to think of impermanence. All these hairs are subject to birth, aging, decay, and passing away. You think of hairs growing and falling, many, many times, many birth and death cycles. No need to over dramatize and think of how you comb or shower your hair and just hairs growing and falling. The more the merrier, more cycles. And we can reflect by asking ourselves, are these hairs truly self? Are they truly you? Can you tell the hairs not to go through this birth and death? And the next part of the body we're going to visualize are the nails. We're going to wish all the nails well and happy. May all the fingernails be well and happy. And may all the toenails be well and happy. And all these nails go through birth, aging, sickness, and passing away. So you think of these nails growing and falling many, many times. The more cycles, the better. So in meditation, especially in the early stage, it's good to troubleshoot. If you feel any kind of tension, any kind of anxiety, stress or strain, or maybe even drowsiness, any kinds of hindrance, there will be a kind of clinging, desire, which is not on the right track. But if, let's say, you are doing fine and feeling peaceful, or having this inner joy or happiness, spiritual happiness, and that means you're on the right track, reducing desire. But if you're facing this stress or tension, then it's good to troubleshoot with the right thoughts to overcome these different kinds of cravings. And we can ask ourselves, are these nails truly self? Can we tell the nails not to go through birth and death? And next we are going to visualize our teeth. I'm going to wish all the teeth well and happy. May all the upper rows of teeth be well and happy. And may all the lower rows of teeth be well and happy. And all these teeth go through birth, aging, sickness, and passing away. So we think of the bone cells of the teeth keep growing and falling off due to wear and tear. So lots of birth and death of the bone cells, many cycles. So the reason why we do loving kindness first for this bodily contemplation is that if the mind is more in the right state, more embracing, then we can accept these changes. And like the mind doesn't have loving kindness, not in the right frame of mind, and we straight away think, oh, you will grow old, you will decay, and most probably people think, oh, I should visit a dentist, I should worry about this, worry about that, then not so easy to accept these changes. Okay, and we're going to ask ourselves, are these teeth truly self? Can we tell the teeth not to go through birth and death? And the next part of the body, we're going to visualize the skin from head to toe. We're going to wish all the skin well and happy. And again, being a relatively large area, whenever we think of a new patch of skin, we need to keep repeating the thought, wishing it well and happy. So new patch of skin, well and happy, new patch of skin, well and happy. And all this skin are subject to birth, aging, sickness, and passing away. So the skin keep growing and falling off, growing and falling off. And we think of this birth and death cycle many, many times. And we can ask ourselves, are the skin truly self? Can we tell the skin not to go through birth and death? Okay, and we're moving on to the next phase of meditation, which is practicing these 4 sublime states. And this time around it's a spatial sensation kind of practice. No need to visualize anything, just feel sensations. So we're going to wish me all beings in front, may they be well and happy. Just a gentle wish, no need to push or exert. And we come back to ourselves, and we are going to wish may all beings behind be well and happy. And we come back to ourselves, and we are going to wish may all beings on the left be well and happy. And we come back to ourselves, and we wish may all beings on the right be well and happy. And we come back to ourselves. And now we're going to wish may all beings above, may they be well and happy. And we come back to ourselves, and we wish may all beings below, may they be well and happy. And we come back to ourselves. And this time round, we're going to feel the sensations of our entire body, from head to toe, including the insides. May this entire body be well and happy. So whatever sensation that arises, we're going to wish it well and happy. So no need to purposely create this sensation. Just let it appear by itself, treat it as passerby. No need to cling onto it, and no need to push it away. So what are the sensations are we looking out for? Generally, we call these the 4 elements, or the 4 kinds of classifications of sensations. The first being the earth element, anything hard and soft. Fire, warm and cold sensations. Wind, fast, slow movements. And water, moist or dry. So whatever sensation you feel, no need to control. You're just trying to observe it naturally. And again, if you have any other sensations beyond these 4 elements, also the same thing, just wish it well and happy. So this is part of mindfulness of the body, 4 foundations of mindfulness. You need something more solid to anchor on. So wish loving kindness to every sensation, and your sensation arise well and happy, and your sensation arise well and happy. And once it suffused this whole body with loving kindness, and we can sort of familiarize or remember this emotion, this state of mind of restricted loving kindness. And so this loving kindness still within the confines of the body. And the next step is we're now training to cultivate boundless loving kindness. So we're going to sort of break away the boundaries. We're going to wish all beings, above, below, and all across, may all beings be well and happy. So again, no need to visualize, no need to push the mind in various directions, just a gentle wish. And wherever your attention may be, can be inside the body, outside the body, in this expanded mind, we are going to wish every sensation well and happy. Because after all, the thought, all beings is a concept. So all beings, all formations, all perceptions, all dharmas, may they be well and happy. So whenever you detect a new sensation appearing, wish it well and happy. New sensation appear well and happy, new sensation appear well and happy. So what we're doing is actually clearing the boundaries of the heart and the craving. We are not omniscient or all-powerful and wish all beings well and happy and all the hospitals will get empty. No, huh? So this is inner cultivation. So the more loving kindness you generate and the more skillful thoughts, then the mind, or these boundaries of craving, lessen, and the mind should settle and get more peaceful. So this calmness and peace is achieved through thinking, right thinking. So if a person does nothing, they will be preparing to go to sleep actually. So no matter how peaceful, how pleasant, just take note. Take note of this scenery. No need to cling, no need to reject. You just know the conditions, but keep generating this loving kindness. Keep spinning this wheel. So this cultivating loving kindness through the samatha route. Samatha means concentration. So this is loving kindness with concentration. Yeah. So you remember this emotion, familiarize with this state of mind, and keep generating this loving kindness. And next, we are adding some wisdom, some insight in the practice. We're combining with this wisdom, and we are now cultivating how to have unconditional loving kindness. It means loving kindness with detachment. So to do that, we have to observe impermanence. So every sensation that appears, we have to also reflect that they arise and pass away. So now we keep repeating in our mind this impermanence. You can use whatever label you want, birth and death, rising, passing, rising, falling. All like this, keep repeating. So there's one component, but the main component is you must observe. You must have the physical evidence and the sensations appearing or disappearing. So you need to observe that. And you need the second component, which is the reflection. So you repeat this mantra in your mind of impermanence to convert this phenomenon into wisdom. And along the way, whatever emotion or peace you experience, also treat them as passing sceneries. Just keep generating thoughts of impermanence. And you start to feel this emotion of joy or happiness like as though dissipating or disappearing. That's very normal. Yeah, and the mind with wisdom is very like neutral, very balanced. And we are going to familiarize in this state of mind. So this highway or this middle path is a very long path, a long journey. You just need to keep traveling. Every time you cling onto something, you're actually reversing the direction. So keep applying these thoughts of impermanence. Okay, then we're going to move on to the second sublime state, which is compassion. And again, we're starting from the bottom, the samatha route, concentration route. We're going to wish, may all beings be free from suffering. So again, there's no need to be too imaginative. There's no need to think of any scenario of any person that is feeling pain or getting sick or hunger. We're just going to observe the here and now sensations, any thought, any dharmas, any formations that arise, and we wish all formations, all beings, may they be free from suffering. So keep generating these thoughts of compassion at every new sensation appearing. So the mundane way of doing compassion is you imagine a person suffering. So initially you might generate the first few moments of compassion, and the chain of thoughts down the line will be worry whether this person have enough food, enough medicine, enough essentials, enough care. So you end up worrying, and over time clutter too much and end up having depression or burnout. So very draining. So what we're doing now is recharging the mind, moment to moment, compassion. So the mind gets calmer. This concentrative kind of compassion should feel more joyful than the ordinary kind of compassion, which can be quite depressing. And now we are going to add some wisdom or insight into this practice, is to reflect on how to be truly free from suffering. And we need to let go of all these formations, all these aggregates. So any sensation appearing, you have to contemplate on impermanence. So the same thing, you need to observe this appearance and disappearance of the sensations, and you need to keep reflecting, repeating your mind, your mantra of impermanence. Treat all experiences as passing sceneries, and stay on track with impermanence. Okay, and now we are moving on to the third sublime state, which is appreciative joy. Again, starting from scratch, we're going to wish may all beings not be separated from what they have achieved. So we're trying to have this appreciative joy, and the same thing, no need to be too imaginative. We're just going to rejoice in the moment to moment, here and now phenomenon. Any sensation appearing, then we rejoice, right? All beings, their totality of experience come from the accumulation of all these little moments to moments added up together. Right? So every time we observe a new sensation arising, then we rejoice. Part of our growth, yeah? So when the mind starts to calm down, and this is developing appreciative joy through the concentration route. And the next we are adding again some insight, some wisdom into this, and we're going to reflect on how to, what do you call it, all beings eventually will be separated from all that is dear and appealing. So all these experiences, they come and go. They appear and they disappear. Sometimes we forget about them. So we just observe all this arising and passing of all these sensations. whatever nice sceneries, nice emotions, peaceful emotions. Don't cling on to them, yeah, just keep putting some effort with this impermanence. Okay, and due to time constraints, we are just going to end and this third sublime state. But before we conclude, just a gentle reminder from the Karaniya Metta Sutta, and as long as we maintain this boundless loving kindness or immeasurable, be it standing, sitting, walking or lying down, and this is the highest kind of conduct. And with that in mind, we can gently open our eyes and maintain this mindfulness. Okay, for those who have physically awakened, any questions or issues? Yeah, Yiling, you're pressing on something? No, okay. All right, if not, then we can conclude. Okay, then we do this dedication of merits. Akasata Japumata Devanaga Mahidika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakantu Lokasasanam Etavata Jamhihi Sampadam Punya Sampadam Sabbe Deva Sabbe Bhuta Sabbe Sata Numodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya. Transference of merits to departed. Idam me nyati hotu sukita hotu nyatayo. Idam me nyati hotu sukita hotu nyatayo. Idam me nyati hotu sukita hotu nyatayo. And aspiration. Imina punya kamena mame bala samagamo. Satang samagamo hotu yavani bhanapatiya. Okay, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, so any announcement, Terence? I think you're skipping 1 week, right?
Yeah, next week there won't be any classes, so we'll start the class again on the 9th of August during Singapore's Independence Day.
Okay, yeah, National Day talk. So I do a National Day speech. Okay, so I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Next week, Terence having a retreat. You want to advertise the retreat you're having?
Yeah, to commemorate Ajahn Brahm's 70th birthday. So
Okay.
we are organizing a global retreat.
Okay. So how do people join?
There's a link I think you type Ajahn Brahm's 70th birthday, you can find the link already.
Okay, all right. So those joining Ajahn Brahm's 70th birthday, while I have a break from my lessons. Yeah. So anything else, Terence?
There's nothing one day.
Okay, all right. So see you all again on the 9th August.
Thank you one day.
Okay. All right. Good night.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Okay.
Thank you, Bante.
Good night.
Ah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bante. Take care,
No
everybody.
problem. Good night.